the best.
Satisfied with the terms of the original Tommy Pham trade?
Yeah, I think we talked about getting to completion today on the Tommy Pham deal. I think chance to talk to the Rays and ultimately moving forward, and excited to have Tommy and Jake officially with us, and seeing those guys as Padres.
In your contention, there's still a lot of questions on the outfield. How are you going to address so many of them?
Yeah, I mean, I think from our standpoint, again, I think we've looked at it wanting to change the mix a little bit overall with the group. I think kind of changing the mix of some of the at bats that we had, and I think with Grisham and with Pham, we'll have that. I think competition is going to be a good thing. I think there are guys that are in the mix for us that we think really highly of. Again, when you have depth and you have options, I think it creates like a really good situation. And it's still not finished here with the off season, so we'll see how things play out. But I think we feel like from a handedness standpoint, we have right-handed bats now. We've got some left-handed options. We've got some power options. We get guys that get on base. We've got some guys that can play in the middle of the field and center field. So I think overall, I think we're in a better spot than we were to start the off season. But understanding that we still got some time left here in the off season to see how things play out going into next year.
Where does Wil Myers fit into that mix?
Yeah, Will's right in the middle of it. I think we've talked to Will. I think again with the deals there, with especially with Hunter being dealt, with Hunter and Pham at the All-Star break last year, right-hand power. Will provides that. He's a very good athlete. I think we all know what Will can do upside-wise. Again, I think had a few conversations with Will already here this offseason. Jace has talked to Will. Will's birthday today. I think the expectation for us is he's going to come in and play. He knows he's capable of playing good baseball. He's capable of being a lot better than what we saw here last year. And I expect that from him here going forward. Honestly, expect that from him in the 2020 season. I think he's excited.
Is there a chance that Wil Myers could see more time after this?
Yeah, I think we'll kind of see how things shake out as we get to as we get through the end of the off season, and more so when we get into spring training. I think what Will, the versatility he provides, I think it's a nice thing. Obviously, you can go and play the infield, you can go out and play the outfield. I think we're going into the next few months looking at him as an outfielder. And again, like when we get to spring training, we'll sit down with the coaches and with Jace, and we're going to want the best 25, 26-man roster that we can put together. And that's every single night, looking at the best combination of guys. Will gives us some versatility, but our conversations with Will are go out and win an everyday job in the outfield, and go out and be the player that we've seen at different points in his career over the last 6 or 7 years.
Could you see both him and Pomeranz in a bullpen long term beyond this year?
Yeah, no, I think again, I think the idea with the Pomeranz signing was to take an area that was a strength in terms of the back of the bullpen with Kirby this year, and turn it into something that that we can point to every single night as a real competitive advantage for our club. So, I think with the way Drew pitched at the end of last season, what Kirby's done the last 3 years, and especially last year, we feel really good about the back part of our bullpen, and if that ends up being something that plays out for us over the course of Drew's 4 years, and we have a lights out back of the bullpen, that'd be ideal, honestly.
With Kinsler still around and with Profar coming in, do you see yourself still trying to maybe make some more moves around the middle of the field?
Yeah, I think with the acquisition of Profar, Cronenworth, obviously having Garcia and Kinsler on the roster, I think we're just trying to basically give ourselves different options, and we feel like we have some flexibility, and we have some versatility. We're going to keep looking for ways to improve our club, and I think overall, obviously with Tatis and Machado on the left side, feel really good about those two guys going forward. But I think that's what the next few days here at the winter meetings are about. That's what really the rest of this month is going to be about, is continuing to look at different possibilities, and that'll be both in the infield, outfield, different spots on our club to try to get better. So.
Is that basically the same situation with the catcher position as well?
Yeah, I think I think with the catcher spot. Again, I think we feel good with with the depth we've built up. We feel good about Hedges, Mejia. Those two guys coming in. We feel good with Luis Torrenz's progression. Again, I think it seems like there's definitely some, you see some things out there about, the ability to upgrade at that spot. We continue to feel like, with Hedgie and Mejia, that's a spot that ultimately we compare to other production around the league and production throughout Major League Baseball. It's a place that we feel like we're going to get we're going to get above average production at that spot. So we think the competition's healthy, and we'll kind of see how it plays out over the course of the next few weeks. But I think from our standpoint, we feel good again about the guys that are behind the plate for us.
Do you think more falls on your major league talent or your minor league talent?
Both. I think I think the last few years about talent accumulation. I think we've had the ability to add talented pieces, in the minor leagues and at the big league level. I think we've, been able to make some moves that kind of start to shape more of a competitive club at the big league level. I think a big part is because we have some players that people like, so we're in a lot of conversation because of it. And I think honestly it's a combination of calls. I think there are deals that start and the conversation begins. Players on the big league squad that that people want to try to access, and then there's always deals where people want to talk about some of the players in our minor league system. So I think the conversations we've had over the last month, but especially over the last week, have been combinations of big league players and minor league prospects. Definitely some things bubbling. Yeah, I mean, it's been an active meeting. I think, I'm sure that everybody here can feel it in terms of it's been a fun few days. I think it's there's activity from a trade standpoint. It feels like it's even more active than it's been in years past, and not just for us. I think you see. You kind of get that sense throughout the industry. Some big signings. My guess is some more players are going to come off the board in the next few days, and I think the conversation's been active from a trade standpoint. So it's been for us the conference room and the conversations have been they've been really active over the course of the last few days. So it's been a fun couple of days so far here in San Diego.